Hi, Facebook, and hi again for those of you who may have watched a version of this video from a few minutes ago. I'm having technical issues and ended up posting that video in the wrong place, so I'm gonna start fresh. That original video was, I did spend most of the day today in Hartford because I had meetings in and around Hartford, and so it was, as we lean into session, a good chance for me to be talking to other legislators and working on things that we're going to advocate for this term. So it is starting to feel a little busy hum in Hartford. But I am now, I started my day at a census event in Torrington with the Lieutenant Governor, and I am right now on my way to the Farm Bureau dinner in Torrington, which I'm really looking forward to, but I'm going to be a little bit late for, so excuse me if I'm talking fast. I'm going to try not to talk too fast, but a few things that I just wanted to give you like news on, update on. There was, our Attorney General had a news conference yesterday announcing that he would be joining with 20 other states on a piece of litigation involving 3D guns. 3D guns are untraceable weapons that can be, printed on 3D printers, and they are a certain type of ghost gun. And as you may recall, we banned ghost guns in the Connecticut legislature last year. And again, as this, having prosecuted gun crimes before, I take these untraceable, unserialized guns very seriously because they do end up being used in crime more often. So I'm pleased that we as a state are going to be joining with other states so the federal government has tried before and is trying again to allow the release of plans to build homemade guns. And we have held it back before, and we're going to try it again. There was a judge in Washington that has so far stopped the federal government from permitting this, and I'm very pleased that Connecticut's going to be part of fighting that going forward. Our governor also had an announcement today about a couple of executive orders that I will provide details on in the newsletter that have to do with healthcare costs. And they come out of some legislation we worked on last year and some more that I hope to be working on this year, which is focused on transparency, setting benchmarks, gathering data on why certain costs are going up, asking people to explain themselves, insurance companies and healthcare providers, so that we have an idea of what to focus on in order to bend that curve. I think we have some ideas of things that will help. For example, the importation of prescription drugs from Canada. But we need to, the more data we have in terms of where these costs are getting out of control, the better we will be able to push back against that, and for the good of both, individual people and small businesses, which I hear from all the time in terms of their struggle with healthcare costs. Another little piece of news that I thought was really interesting was, you may have read in the national press, but also in local press, about basically that states that have increased the minimum wage, such as Connecticut has done, we're going to be increasing it over a series of over 4 years to $15, are seeing a dip in suicide rates. That's really important because it ties into something that I have talked about a lot, which is, the mental health epidemic that we are experiencing right now, which is reflected in addiction and suicide and all kinds of things. And those issues are in fact reducing life expectancy. And so to see that tie between a dignified wage that you can rely on and the reduction in suicide rates is great. So it's good for economics, but it's also really welcome news for mental health. And I'll provide some links to that study in the newsletter too. And then in local news, there are so many people in our communities who look out for one another, and particularly, I notice when somebody's in need, because we're all in need of various types at various times in our lives, and if you can help somebody when you can, we do it. And recently, Mary O'Brien from Salisbury, who's often one of those people who identifies neighbors in need, pointed out a case to me about Gary Marks, who's a Salisbury resident who recently lost his truck when the brakes went out on Mount Riga. And so there's a GoFundMe to help him get his truck back so that he can help other people and do what he does. Sorry, I'm sitting in a random parking lot in Hartford on my way out and hoping that a bus can pass me. live, exciting developments here in my car. So I will provide the details. Sorry, live moments here. You mean move? I'll move up. Okay. Sorry, you're experiencing live challenges, making it interesting, adding a little drama to my Facebook Live videos. Sorry about that. So anyway, there is a GoFundMe to help Gary get pay for a new truck, and they've already raised over $1,700, looking to raise $2,500. So I will provide the link to that GoFundMe, but you can also find it, search for it. Other news, local events. I had a great, Kent put on a great 4th annual Women's March last weekend. About 120 people there from all around our region. It was really fun to be together and to celebrate the things that we have done actively in our communities since that march began in 2017. So the census, I mentioned that I went to a census event this morning, and I'm going to post more information about this. I've talked about it repeatedly, I know, but we do need census enumerators in a number of our towns, including Salisbury, Sharon, Cornwall. So if they're flexible hours, they pay between $21 and $25 an hour, and it really helps to have local people doing the census so that there's increased trust and you get better and more thorough and complete answers, because this has a real impact on resources available in our communities, and so it's really important that we all be counted. So it's not just resources, it's also congressional seats. Connecticut has lost a congressional seat in the recent past because of population dips, and so we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So tonight I'm on my way to the Farm Bureau dinner, which I'm looking forward to, and as I said, I'm late. And next week is the week of legislative breakfasts. I'm going to be eating lots of sausage and eggs at various events hosted by local organizations, including the League of Women Voters, the Council, the COG, the Council of Governments, Litchfield Realtors, and the Community College in Winsted, Northwest Connecticut Community College. So that is always interesting to hear what, it's a two-way conversation. People tell us what they want us to work on, and we talk about, try to give them an idea of what, what's happening and what we might actually be able to get through this year. So that's about it. So interesting video, a little drama today. Have a great weekend and see you soon. Bye.